Understanding history is a journey. It's not just about memorizing dates or names, it's about piecing together the story of humanity, one clue at a time. Every step you take into the past is like stepping into a world that's both familiar and completely foreign. And honestly, for most people, it's a lot like wandering through a huge, mysterious mansion, one with locked doors, secret passageways, and a whole lot of unanswered questions. You never know what you'll find around the next corner, and sometimes, the most important rooms are the hardest to reach. I've spent years looking at the evidence, the artifacts, the ruins, the ancient scrolls. Each piece tells a story, but often those stories are fragmented, like pages torn from a book and scattered by the wind. And let me tell you, there are always mysteries that seem just out of reach. No matter how much we uncover, there's always something more, some puzzle that refuses to be solved, some relic that doesn't fit the pattern. Many historians and archaeologists act like they've got it all figured out. They publish papers, give lectures, and debate theories as if the past is a closed book, already read and understood. They treat history like a straight line, one event neatly following another, uninterrupted. It's a tidy story, but real history is rarely so simple. But when they come across something odd, say a civilization that vanishes without a trace or a structure that seems to come from nowhere, they get stumped. These anomalies don't fit the neat timeline, and so they're often brushed aside or left unexplained. Their view just doesn't have room for the big, world-changing interruptions. They see history as a gentle stream, not a river that's been violently redirected. Let me tell you that there's another way to look at history. A way that embraces the unexpected, that's willing to consider the possibility of massive, world-altering events. And this way, well, it makes all the difference. It's like finding the master key that opens every locked door in that mysterious mansion. If I include a global event, a historical interruption like the biblical flood, the jigsaw pieces start to fit. Suddenly, ruins make sense. The gaps in our knowledge begin to close, and the scattered clues start to form a coherent picture. Lost civilizations aren't so mysterious. Their sudden disappearances, their strange artifacts, their abrupt endings, they all become understandable in the light of a cataclysmic event. The rise of language, the birth of religion, the first governments, even the explosion of agriculture. All of it lines up. The flood acts as a reset button, explaining why so many cultures seem to start over at the same time, with similar myths and technologies. When I leave the flood out, history becomes a tangled mess. The stories don't connect, the timelines don't match, and the evidence just doesn't add up. Researchers end up arguing, inventing theory after theory that never quite explains it all. The debates go in circles and the real answers remain hidden. But with the flood, the confusion fades. Suddenly, the chaos of the past starts to make sense, and the pieces fall into place. The why and how of history finally get some solid answers. We can see the patterns, the causes, and the effects with new clarity. I know this approach isn't popular in every university classroom, but facts are facts. Sometimes the truth challenges what we've been taught, and that's okay. The flood isn't just a story you tell your kids at bedtime. It's a record of a real event preserved in cultures and texts all over the world, not just in the Bible. It's the missing link that unlocks the secrets of our past. Without it, we're left searching for answers that never quite fit. So, why does this matter? Why should we care about a flood that happened thousands of years ago? Because I want to see the truth, not the version that gets twisted and watered down until nothing makes sense. I want to understand where we came from and what shaped the world we live in today. I want the real story, the one that explains the mysteries, not just covers them up. The story that connects the dots and reveals the bigger picture. The Bible points us to that truth. It's not just a religious text, it's a historical document, a guide to understanding the world's greatest mysteries. It reminds us that history isn't just a straight, quiet road. It had a massive, world-shaking interruption. That interruption left its mark everywhere, if we're willing to look. And that event changes everything. It's the turning point that explains so much of what we see in the ancient world. If you want to understand history, really understand it, don't leave out the flood. Don't ignore the evidence just because it's uncomfortable or controversial. When you include it, the mysteries fade, the confusion drops away, and you get to see the incredible, God-written story behind our world. The past becomes clearer, and the story of humanity finally makes sense.